Every time somebody asks me to do a video on programming, I kind of freak out a little bit because I'm never sure exactly what to do. It's a difficult topic to cover in a video like this. But I'm going to talk about it today. A little bit of philosophy, my philosophy, a little bit of vlogging, a little bit of explanation as to how I feel things should be done. Now granted, it's not the only way things can be done. They can be done a lot of different ways. But I'm just telling you how I feel about it. And I guess, you know, a lot of people pride themselves in mixing skills or pride themselves in scratching. I pride myself in programming or reading the crowd. I feel like I'm very good at that. Better than a lot of people. So, you know, how I do it may be a little more advanced than how other people do it. So I'm going to attempt, starting in this video, and we'll do more, to explain to you how I learned how to program and how you might be able to learn how to program like I have. First of all, we've got to figure out what kind of DJ you plan on being. Now, some people are house DJs, some people are scratch DJs, some people are hip-hop DJs, some people play all kinds of music for all kinds of people. That's kind of what I do. Now, it's okay if you want to be a trance DJ, all you have to do is learn trance. I understand that. Or if you want to do hip-hop, you don't have to worry about anything else but hip-hop. But you know, I was watching a show on TV today, and they were talking about black comedians going back, I don't know, maybe 50 years. They were talking about Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, and the black comedians of today. And Chris Rock made a real interesting observation. He was saying that when he was getting started in comedy clubs, there were no good black comedy clubs. There were just comedy clubs, kind of all people, mostly white, I guess. So it was important for a black comedian to know how to make a white person laugh. And because of that, people like Chris Rock and Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor, their skill sets as comedians got real strong. Sure, they can go into a black comedy club and make black people laugh. Today there are tons of black comedy clubs on the coast, I guess. And so the new black comedians, all they really have to do is walk into these black comedy clubs and make black people laugh. Well, are their skill sets as strong? Absolutely not, because they're only playing to one audience. So let's take that kind of philosophy and think about that when it comes to DJing. You need to know your music. What music? All music. There are people out there who are hip-hop fans or trance fans or house fans or country fans. Then there are people who are music fans. I'm one of those people. When they say, what's your favorite kind of music? I say good music. I like all kinds. Although I will admit that country does get under my skin and I prefer not to play it. And everybody has those genres that they don't like. But it doesn't matter. I still have to know it to some degree to be an effective programmer when I DJ. If you think about musicians, if you want to learn how to play guitar, you go out, you buy a guitar, and then you take guitar lessons. There's a Mel Bay's guitar method book that I remember I was using as a kid, and the songs were songs I hated in that book. And it made me not want to practice because the songs were lame, you know. But the teacher said, hey, look, you gotta learn your technique before you can move on and play Metallica or Van Halen or whatever you want to play. And the teacher was right. You absolutely did have to have a certain set of skills on the guitar as far as theory and things like that went while playing before you moved on and played what you wanted to play. I think DJing is the opposite of that. What I mean is, I think a lot of young people out there who are getting toys, a lot of toys, turntables, CDJs, whatever, they kind of play around with their mixing and beat mixing and that kind of stuff. But then a lot of them have no idea what to play for a crowd once they get out there and try to make a couple bucks doing this. So to me, I think it makes more sense to know your music first before you actually learn any kind of mixing skills at all. Don't worry about it. You need to know what to play before you can play it. So, what am I saying? Well, here, check it out. I think the best DJs I've ever seen as far as mixing and things like that go have learned their music first, and there's a reason for it. Think about it. If you can mix flawlessly, that's great, but if you don't know what to play and you can't move a crowd with your mixes, it's kind of useless. So if you learn what people like first, and you learn your music first, and then worry about how to mix this music, you're going to have more effective mixes than the guy who concentrated on scratching and beat mixing before he concentrated on even knowing what his music library was all about. So I'm going to leave you with this bit right here, and then what I'd welcome you to do is ask specific questions in the comment section. And the questions that you ask me are going to kind of determine what our next video is on this subject. I recommend that you guys start listening to all kinds of music, no matter who you are as a DJ. get into it. I do it. I still do it. I have to do it. It's kind of like polishing my chops. A great way to do this, if you can, and it's usually less than 20 bucks a month. Get yourself a subscription to like SiriusXM or some kind of satellite music service if you're in the States. Fantastic. You listen to it in the car, you can listen to it at home on your computer, and they have stations for absolutely every genre of music you can think of. Right now, I've got Studio 54 radio on. I'm brushing up on some old disco stuff. Now, is that really going to help me when I go out and do my next wedding reception? It might. You never know. I might hear a tune I completely forgot about, and I might be able to spin it, and it might be effective. I'm not going to know until I try, but you need to listen to all kinds of music. Check out the 80s station. Check out the 70s, the 60s, the 90s. Check out the rock station. Check out BPM if you're into dance music or electric area. Check out the cool like R&B stations like Heart and Soul. Listen to Backspin, the old hip-hop stuff, and learn your music, guys. Try a different station every day if you want to. You're going to find stuff that you didn't know you liked, and it's going to help you learn your music. That's step number one. The next step is going to be figuring out what people really like, and maybe we'll try to get into some philosophy on that in the next video. So until then, practice and enjoy.